Hey guys, we are playing Two Truths, One Lie.
Whoa!
I've never played this before, so Amanda's gonna show me how it's done.
That's right. The boss is gonna take her kid to school. What?
What? The boss is gonna take her
Why
kid
is the
to
boss
school.
My brain broke.
Your brain broke. So this is how it goes. We're gonna say two truths and then one is a lie. We're gonna try to find the lie. The loser, if you're wrong, you get squirted with this.
Whoa!
We each have a fully loaded water gun to our left. And we're gonna shoot it at each other if we're wrong. And this is gonna be interesting because I feel like we know a lot about each other.
Yeah, we do. But you don't know about this stuff.
Yeah, you're like my big sister. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I feel like you know a lot, but I don't know. I think you'll be able to guess which one.
Yeah, I think so too.
And please give it up for our live studio 3 people.
Yeah!
Noah, Raja, and Jan.
Yay!
Do we have other people not alive in the studio too?
Nope, everyone
Our
is
live
gone.
studio 3 people.
Who do we think's a better liar, me or Angela?
I actually think Angela is a better liar, but I think in this context, like in an interrogation, she's gonna crack immediately.
It's gonna be hard just with you, like in a personal space that I feel safe in. Like, how do I put up a wall when you're best friends? You put your walls down. You know?
I know. Well, I guess we'll see. This will test our friendship to the end.
Here we go.
Here we go. I got kicked by a horse while I was on it.
While you were on it?
When I was 10 years old and didn't say anything because I didn't want to ruin the family vacation.
That's crazy.
I'll ask questions later.
I got chased down by 2 Peruvian women for holding their baby goats without realizing I had to pay them after.
Okay.
I got asked out by the Prince of Monaco when I was 17, and my mom really wanted it to happen so we could be set for life.
Okay.
Which is it?
All right, Cindy.
Okay. Number 1 here. Okay. So you were riding a horse, and the horse that you were riding kicked you.
Yep.
How is
It's
this?
insane. Its front leg kicked my thigh while I was on it, and I had a huge bruise. But I didn't say anything for hours and hours and hours, and I was in so much pain.
Okay.
Because I didn't want my mom to be like, "Ugh, Amanda,
Oh.
it's our vacation.
You can't get kicked.
You can't get kicked or sick.
You got kicked on our vacation, Amanda. This is all your fault.
You can't get kicked or sick. You guys ever have that when you're like sick the night before and they're like, why would you do this?
Sick I get, but being kicked.
Kicked by a horse. It was terrible.
So, how was being asked out by a prince?
Awkward as hell.
Where were you?
Monaco.
Like where?
We were right outside this like architectural church. It was really, really pretty. My mom takes all the sisters on a mother-daughter trip when they turn 17.
See, this is what's weird is you're saying buzzwords that I know are true because I feel like your
No,
family
it's-
does a lot of
it's true.
sister trips and women trips.
And he asked me out, and his like security, I guess, were wanting me to talk to him. So I talked to him, and I was really against it. And my mom was like, "You should go out to dinner with him."
His security talked to you?
Yeah.
What was the second one?
I got chased down by 2 Peruvian women for holding their baby goats without realizing I had to pay them after. It was in Cusco, and they were such cute little baby goats, and they were on the street, and they were like, "Do you want to hold them?" in Spanish, and we were like, "Yeah." And we took a picture, and then they were like, and we didn't have money on us at that time, which is so weird because we probably should have because we were tourists, and they chased us, full on chased us, grown ass women.
With the goats?
I think they put the goats down. I didn't look back.
Okay.
I was genuinely scared. We did not go to that part of the town for the rest of the trip.
Oof. Okay.
These are tough, and when I thought of them, I was like, oh my God, these are insane.
I can't believe a horse kicked you while you're on it.
It was
because
terrible.
I believe that. I think based off of the way you told the story. Mm-hmm. Because all 3 I think could happen to you. Mm. I think based off of the way you told the story, I think you were never asked out by a prince in Monaco. I think that's the lie.
Is that your final answer?
Final answer? Don't think a prince could ask me out.
That's not it. It was you just going, the little women were this way, and the horse was like this, and then you were like, architectural church.
You're right.
Yeah!
This is what's hard, because she knows me so well that she knows when I'm lying.
I don't know if I knew that you were lying. I just knew that you had an image of that woman. Because you're such a character person. You went like this, and you're like the woman that. And then the first one too.
Oh shit.
When you're like, it hit me, and I was like, oh.
Oh shit. You get to spray me.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm so sorry. Don't make it like a wet t-shirt. I'm scared.
Ooh.
Ew! It's so specific. It looks like I'm not gonna talk about it.
So my sister got asked out by the Prince of Monaco.
Whoa!
That's why I have no image of it, because she doesn't want to talk about
Did
it.
she go on?
She doesn't want to
She doesn't want to talk. She was like, it was awful.
Oh.
Whoa.
I don't think him asking out was awful, but my mom was like, you're gonna go out to dinner.
yeah.
And she was like, no.
I think that's like the plot of a Gossip Girl episode.
I was about to say, that's a Mary-Kate and Ashley movie for sure.
For sure.
All three events happen
My
in the
sister
movie.
was a absolute stunner, so I was like, not surprised. But it's also like, what's happening here,
Yeah,
people?
yeah.
It must run in the
How old was she?
family.
She was 17.
Wait a minute.
What?
He looked at you and he was like, must run in the family.
Thanks.
You know he has a crush on you, right?
No.
Wait,
does
what?
he?
That's one of her lies.
Who's going next?
Here we go.
That's crazy.
I ship it.
I also didn't know who Harambe was or what happened to her.
Wow.
To her.
Wow. Harambe was a woman?
It.
To her.
What? Uh-oh, here we go.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
I know what the lie is.
Harambe.
I've cheated on multiple games during a Smosh Games video. There's your clip.
Oh, that would be insane.
Sometimes I don't wash my coffee cup in the Smosh office and I just rinse it.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely true. Okay, you f***ed me up because Harambe is not a girl. So now I'm confused. Because part of that sentence is not true. Okay,
I can't believe I f***ed that.
okay. How would you cheat? Like, what's one of the games that you cheated on in Smosh?
Well, definitely Monopoly Cheaters Edition.
Oh, but that's not cheating if you cheated in the cheating video.
I cheated in the sound game.
What do you mean you
I remember specifically I cheated.
Ow.
I used a steal, and I said we hadn't used that card, and I had used it before.
She's only admitting
remember
this
that.
because we kept bringing it up to her.
I'm like coming out. I'm coming out with current stuff. That one. And then I remember, what was it? It was like some type of counting game. Oh no, I think it was Don't Say And we had to like count every time someone said I don't think you were in that. And I purposely was doing a bad job at counting.
Wow.
I do believe this. You didn't know Harambe was a girl. You didn't know who Harambe
what it
was.
is I also didn't know who Harambe was or what happened to him.
I think that's a lie.
You think I knew?
I think you knew. I think you're an online girly. And you knew.
You think I'm an online girly?
Yeah.
You think I'm an online girly? I don't know who that is. You didn't know who Harambe was? I had to watch it too.
What?
Incredible.
Oh my
I
god!
had no clue. That's why I was like, why is everyone bullying her? I think that's a normal thing.
Thank you! Oh my god!
Not normal.
Angela! I feel so much better.
You didn't know.
Wait, so I got sprayed in my hoop earring, which felt good. Wait, so
look at
what
this
was
moment
the
of
lie?
sisterhood.
She didn't know who Harambe was either.
That's why I said her, because I didn't know.
I know, I should have went with that.
I know it's a.
But I thought you were like
I know
changing
it's like
her-
a monkey.
Yeah.
Was
I
the
looked
lie
at the
was the lie you never cheated on games?
The lie is I've cheated on multiple games during a Smosh Games video. I have never cheated unless it was Monopoly Cheaters Edition, which I was supposed to.
Who memed it?
Yeah.
Well, that was like a funny. That wasn't really.
That was a funny cheat.
That was like.
Give me the gun.
Do the one that makes sense.
a period is not nasty. It's what women do.
No, you just go with the one that sounds
Oh,
nasty.
here.
Who's
Just you're doing this.
Oh wow.
you? Wait, we
Yeah,
have to make a rule.
That's crazy.
I know.
We
I
gotta,
know.
We gotta make a
I
rule.
know.
You can't just keep grabbing.
I
Not when we're
know.
playing for money. Not when we're playing for 20.
I think you can only grab one.
Oh no!
Oh my God.
That wasn't.
That was a funny cheat.
No.
No, that wasn't cheating. That was me messing with my cards like we do on Cards Against Humanity. But that was like the instances I was just saying. Also, it was crazy to lie about cheating on the sound game in front of you three because I was like, they might
Yeah.
literally.
Wait.
Yeah.
Here's the thing,
But
though.
I've never lied on that.
I should have gone with my gut because when I heard that I was like, you weren't cheating. You didn't know that that was happening, and then after we saw the thing, you were like, oh. I don't think you were purposely cheating. So now I'm an idiot.
No, it's
and I
okay.
should have gone with my gut.
I just can't believe you
you're
called
not
me an
an
online girly.
You are.
I
You
guess.
are online.
Yeah.
In like an adult way.
Okay, you're an online
Like, I
woman.
don't like memes.
But you didn't know who Harambe was, which you wrote her, and I should have went with that.
Because
No,
I
that
didn't
was a
understand.
whole-
That clip was blowing up and I didn't understand what was happening.
A boy somehow snuck in and fell into the gorilla pit.
Okay.
Harambe comes up, he's curious. He's looking at the kid, he's just kind of looking at him, whatever. They then shot Harambe. It's sad. They shot Harambe and they killed him.
Why are we laughing?
I'm laughing because this is an insane story that I've processed years ago.
Why would they shoot him? He didn't want to do anything. He was probably talking to him.
Yeah, I was like, why are they all freaking out? that
Oh
she
my
doesn't know
God,
this?
I feel so much better.
Yeah.
Wow, we
I
both,
think that's why
we
I
both
picked
didn't
this.
know.
So
we
we can
both
have
didn't
this
know
moment on
Harambe.
camera.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
This one's kind of dark.
Okay. Oh.
Okay. I've been held at gunpoint by police for partying at a girl's house when her parents were out of town.
Whoa.
I've been held at gunpoint for pool hopping at night in my neighborhood and getting caught by the owner who was woken up by us. I've been held at gunpoint for attempting to steal a very large pineapple.
I swear.
I want
all
you to
of
say
your-
the last one again with a straight face.
I've been held at gunpoint for attempting to steal a very large pineapple.
What?
Yeah.
Like gun to your head for all of these?
Yes. Not gun to my head, like
Pointed at her.
pointed at me. First one was a party. Police busted down the door and we were partying in our friend's house and her parents called the cops because they thought they were getting a home invasion. I personally think they did it on purpose, but.
Whoa. And then the second
So like
one?
6 cops busted in. Second one, I've been held at gunpoint for pool hopping, which I know might not be a thing out here, but it's a huge thing in my town, where you sneak in people's backyards and you swim in their pool while they're sleeping.
Did you do that in high school?
Middle school, high school, it was so fun and so fucking thrilling.
So thrilling.
It was really scary, and the guy was so mad. And honestly, I don't think I did it again after that.
That's good.
Wait, the guy, the homeowner came out with a gun?
Yes. He was pissed.
And the
And he
third?
definitely f***ing knew who we were.
And then where's this large pineapple coming from?
The Azores.
What?
Portugal. We were in an Airbnb, and this guy had a pineapple farm. And me and my sister were really drunk, and we wanted to go and look at the pineapple, and we pulled on it, and then he was there with his gun. Apparently, we triggered a alarm.
You pulled a real life pineapple?
Yeah, big pineapples.
And these
Like, they're like this
these
big in the ground.
Homegrown in the ground pineapples are connected to an alarm.
No, when we walked into the field, it was we set off an alarm, not the pineapple.
Do you think the farmer has a string and a can?
That's
on
what I
every
was like, what are you
pineapple?
talking about?
No,
You walked into a space that you shouldn't have, and that's what set the alarm off?
Correct.
And then he came out with a gun?
Correct. We were staying in his Airbnb, and this was his house was attached to the Airbnb. It was a big mistake, and it wasn't my idea. It wasn't my idea.
Okay, I'm gonna go with my gut, which is what you told me not to do. I'm gonna go with the pool hopping.
Is a lie?
No.
You're right.
Oh,
You know me really well.
Honestly, I was just looking at the storytelling. I don't know.
Damn it!
It's like, I could see you go someplace with the first one and the third.
See?
But the second one, you were just like, oh, it's a thing. in
It's
my hometown.
really hard for me to fucking lie to you.
Yeah, it's hard. No, it's hard to lie.
It's really
it
hard for
shouldn't
me to
feel
lie.
natural.
We did do pool hopping, but we never got caught.
And that's
That's
the
what
thrill.
it sounded like. Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Never got caught. No one in my hometown owned guns and came out with guns. That's not the
Wow.
hometown that I grew up in. No.
mass.
Yeah, but
baby.
the pool thing, the party thing sounded.
The party thing, and those were my DARE officers when I was a kid.
Who
And
then
so they
showed
knew me
up?
very well. Yeah, they were psychotic. They were acting crazy. And they fucking broke a door. They were like,
No way.
yeah, dead serious. And we were like, you know us.
Oh my god. Oh no, I'm so.
Oh yeah, you get to
sorry.
spray me. Get this hoop.
Oh,
Wait, no, don't get that hoop. Get here, get here.
One of you want to do it?
No.
it's you.
Oh!
He made an L.
Now you were
next
held
time
at
I'm gonna
gunpoint again.
Angela.
Get out of that pool!
Yeah, but this is the first time I
Drop
got
the pineapple!
It's the first time I got
Drop
shot.
the pineapple!
Yeah, it was terrible. And he woke up my mom to be like, your girls were in my pineapple farm. And my mom was like, I am so sorry. Get inside. My sister was like,
Oh, wow. Put it down!
no, let me live. What were your thoughts on that one, guys? What did you guys think?
Did you think it was that one too?
Did you think it was the pool hopping?
Did you kiss anyone in the pool?
No, it was me and my best friend.
Oh.
It wasn't like a sexy time.
Oh.
It was like, we're in the
sneaky.
pool.
For the Airbnb, what kind of review do you leave?
He was just that kind of guy. He wasn't a farmer guy. He was like super, super polished.
Wow.
And like had like these like sunglasses that he thought were like really relevant and cool, but they were so 90s. The Azores is like kind of old school in Portugal, and he was like, okay. He kept going, okay. So when he had a gun, we were like, what the f, dude?
Drop the pineapple.
Yeah, he was like, I saw your girls in my pineapple field, so I brought them home.
Did you get in trouble for the party?
The cops drove me home. They drove me home.
In the
and my-
back of the car?
Did they knock on the door?
My mom opened because my mom's a teacher and they all know her. And my mom looked through the window when she was doing a massage, and they were like, and she was like, okay. And I didn't get grounded or anything. She was
Oh.
like, if you have to pay any fine, that's coming out of your pocket.
Did you?
That's
Or
it?
no?
Nope. They drove me home. Anyways,
Pretty wild.
pretty wild. Here we go.
To bring it back down from wild. Okay, number 1. My car has been stolen twice. Like 2 times, separate cars. My car once was vandalized and someone painted Honda onto my Honda CRV.
That's so fucked up. Hondas are great.
Thank you.
And once I fell asleep at the wheel. AMA.
I don't see you falling asleep at the wheel. Don't give me that look. I'm just gonna lean into being bad at this. Okay. Fuck Honda's kind of like the weirdest thing to
It
write.
was the
Like
craziest
Honda.
It was huge on my car.
On the hood?
entire side of the car of a Honda CRV said Honda. Really big.
Oh, I don't believe this. That's the lie. Oh my God, I'm wrong.
No, wait, I have to pick it up every time.
I was wrong.
Yeah.
Was the
Isn't that-
lie? Was the lie you fell asleep?
You should have went with your gut.
I should have went with my gut. You know what? I didn't go with my f***ing gut.
Yeah, you were like, you've never fallen asleep at the wheel. And I was like, oh, she's
That was my gut. What the f***? Honda's the dumbest thing I've
Is that
ever
the
heard in
craziest
my
thing
life.
you've ever heard?
Why did they write that?
I don't know. And my, like, literally, I woke up the next day.
That's why I didn't
and
believe it.
I walked to my car, and bright orange all over the car said Honda.
What?
And it was a Honda CRV.
Maybe they just had a bad experience.
I thought
Your car's been stolen twice.
and my car's been stolen twice.
Wait, that's awful.
And I think the Honda thing, like, I was like, maybe I cut someone off and they followed me and did that.
How did you
What?
get it out?
I had to like bring it to a place and ask. You guys driving around with a car that says Honda? I had to drive it like for like 3 days.
Damn
it!
In a Honda.
And I was
that
a dog
says
walker at the time, and I had to pick up dogs. And it, like, literally, was just disgusting.
I will be taking care of your pit bull now. Sorry about the car.
Wait, what was
Wait.
the second time that your car was stolen?
My car's been stolen once, was just literally just stolen. And then we found it. It was like when I was in high school. It was stolen, and we found it, and it just had all of its parts gone when they found it. And then the second time is like my big story where my car was stolen with dogs inside of it when I was dog walking. It's a long story. Yeah.
That is
No, it's really long.
that is terrifying.
Yeah, it was when I was working for dog walking.
Because it's all the dogs. It's all the people's dogs.
I would pick up a lot because I got paid per dog, not per hour.
Yep.
And I worked for a company where we'd pick up a lot of rich people's dogs, like a lot of like in like Santa Monica, these big homes that like these big dogs would just like ruin throughout the day because their parents were gone and their owners were gone. And I would pick up the dogs at like 6 a.m. Then we'd go on a hike and then I would drop them off by like 11 or noon. And I was told in the summertime to leave the car still running because the AC, because we just come back from a really big hike.
Yeah.
And we had like a couple small dogs that would pass out. So we would leave the AC on. But my boss was always like, these dogs, like if I went through a drive-through and someone stuck their hand, all the dogs would go, "Arr!" Like because they get territorial of the car. So I thought for sure no one's gonna get near this car because these dogs are just gonna attack it.
Wait, what?
And an unhoused person saw a car running and they got in it.
And the dogs didn't attack him?
No, the dogs were so tired. There was 3 dogs after a hike. And I had just installed, it's a really long story. I had just installed a wall, a divider between the cars, my seat and the back seat, because the dogs were coming in.
Did you get the dogs back?
We found all the dogs. And it was a crazy, it took a long time, but we found all the dogs, and we found the car, and we found the guy. And then later, a year later, I got on my insurance reported a hit and run, and I was like, why did I didn't hit somebody and leave. And then I looked at the date, and I was like, that was the time in which that man had my car. He hit another car.
God, and the
so I had
dog-
to tell my insurance that was my car, but that wasn't me behind the wheel. And they were like, you have to prove that. So then I had to go get the police reports. And then I also had to go to court, get on the stand, and they were like, did you give this man permission to drive your car? And I went, no. And then I was dismissed. Whoa! And he went to jail.
Unfortunately, if you steal my car with the dogs and then you hit someone with the dogs in it, like you should be somewhere.
Yeah.
You said you didn't have any crazy stories. You have
That's my
tons.
big one. That's my big one.
What the hell?
And that's not even the tip of it. I have to tell you the long story.
Yeah, you do.
That's rough.
There's just many chapters.
Okay, so I knew you would have never fallen asleep at the wheel, and I should have went with my gut.
It's okay.
Honestly, I just gotta know, how long did it take to get the dogs back? Was it like same day?
Yeah, it took like
Okay.
a couple hours.
Okay. I mean, that's still scary.
we
but
had
At least it
multiple-
was same day.
Yeah, but multiple cops were all looking around for the dogs. We were all looking for the
Oh, they knew. They're like rich people dogs.
We're the
Oh,
owners?
Oh yeah, literally stop everything.
Top priority.
Yeah.
You ever find out who wrote Honda?
No.
You get like a handwriting specialist on it? Maybe they can
I mean, I have a picture of it. It's crazy. Me and all my friends like posed in front of it because it was just, it was so big and so bright and said so big.
Maybe it's the dogs. Maybe
Why do
they're
they have-
The
pissed.
dogs.
They're pissed being back
Why
there.
did they do that?
don't know.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Just write you, don't write
Honda.
Yeah.
Honda.
Honda.
That could do a
what?
lot to you.
Did someone just get fired?
I
Like
don't
from
know.
Honda?
I was thinking maybe I don't know.
Bad leasing option.
If you're watching this and you did this, please comment below. I won't be mad. I just want to know. I just want to talk.
We just want to know the story behind the Honda.
Let's just talk.
We'll
Let's talk.
bring you on Smosh Mouth.
Let's have Honda
A
versus.
podcast, it's not mine. I'll bring you on.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Final round.
Yay!
I'm going to do this without emotion,
Okay.
and this is my lightest card. I accidentally threw up on the back of a woman's head at the bar I was working at. She got her whole bill comped. I accidentally threw up on every single step in my house on my way to my parents' room. My dad was rip shit, which means pissed in East Coast terms. I threw up out the window and all over my boyfriend's car in the dead of winter, so it dried immediately.
Ooh. That's kind of cool. Were you? Never mind.
Very cool. It was very artistic.
Okay, so when you said you threw up on someone's head, so you just went like straight.
I was walking through, we have this like pub area, and I was walking through holding glasses, and I felt so sick. I must have been hungover.
You didn't throw up in the glasses?
Nope,
really?
I couldn't put my head down. It came out so fast, and I went, bleh! And she went, and I ran to the back room. And my bartender, my friend who was bartending was like,
How do you barf up?
I don't know.
Just the gravity, you barf down.
No, I was walking. I sprayed barf. I was like, "Bleh!" And then I went, and she went. It was the early days when I was like, just moved to LA, working at a bar, having way too much fun, like going out until like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
That's what happened to me during Honda days.
Yeah.
Let's go.
God, that
Honda
sounds
days.
like a commercial. Can you
Honda
imagine
forever?
having dinner with your friends?
Did you hear what he said?
What do you say?
Honda forever.
Honda forever.
Yeah, we should say that often.
You should say.
Don't do that.
Okay,
So she was at it was a pub.
don't
It
repeat
was a
it.
pub area. So
a
she was
pub.
high up, so the back of her head
Okay.
was level to my head.
okay, and then, so you barfed on his car door and it dried.
So I was out the window, super like terrible, and I was like, "Ah."
How do you throw up?
I'm a horrible throw up person. I scream. Did you? We were driving, and the wind took it all on his car. We parked, and we were staying at his parents' house, and it's dead of winter, and we got out, and he went, "Oh fuck," and it was all dried on the
Ew.
outside of his car. I know, it was awful. It
And
dried
then
literally
You barfed on
immediately.
every single stair?
in my parents' house. Yeah.
Every
When I was young, I was really sick and I had a nightmare, and I went, "Bleh, bleh." I don't know why. I got to my parents' bed. I was like, can I get in bed with you? And my dad was like, and then he went down. He went, no. I could hear
You didn't
him.
tell him there was throw up?
No, I was like out of it. I was a little kid.
Okay.
And so he kept going like, Amanda, oh, no,
Okay.
Amanda.
See? You learned I should have never said my tactic.
Yeah.
Because now you're getting super detailed for everything. And you have eye contact for everything.
Now I've learned my lesson on the last card.
Okay, so I'm just gonna guess, and if I'm wrong, then it'll make you feel comfortable at being wrong again. I'm kidding. Okay, I'm just gonna go with the stairs. I think that's the lie. No. And this is good. This is relatable.
Oh! Your arm, no. No. No.
Nope, I actually did that.
Wait, let me
My
guess
dad
again.
was
Let me
so
guess again.
pissed.
Wait, but if you get it wrong again, she shoots
You already got it wrong, honey.
What's the lie?
The lie is, I didn't throw up on someone's head in the bar. A customer did, and I watched the whole thing. I was the bartender. I was sitting there cleaning a glass, and some guy was like,
No.
He was really drunk.
No.
He was really, really drunk, and I was like, oh God, we gotta cut that guy off. And he was like,
No.
sprayed all over the back of the woman's head, and then went and upstairs to the bathroom, and she went, what the f***? What the f***? What the f***? And I was like, and I looked at my manager and I was like, I got a copper bill. And he was like, what happened? What happened? I was like, a man threw up on the back of her head. And want to hear the craziest thing? Never knew who that guy was. Years later, I'm not f***ing with you. This guy came to my solo show and was like, oh my God, you worked there? Oh, I did the worst thing there once. And I said, did you throw up on the back of a woman's head? He said, yeah. I'm not making that up. And I was like, you're the one. You're the
You're
one.
the one.
Wow.
So it was a lie. I didn't do it, but
you
it
had
happened.
and you had an
Wow.
image. That's why I saw. I was like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
definitely she sees that hallway. And that is so good.
What'd you guys think the lie was?
I thought the throw up.
Yeah, no,
wait.
what?
They were
on
all
the car
thrown.
door.
No,
I also
Hard
thought
door.
the steps. Yeah,
I
think
also thought it was
I
the
think you did a
steps.
great job of visualizing all of them, so it was good.
I had a lot of nightmares, and nightmares would make me feel sick. So I don't know why I threw up on every step, but my dad was like, God damn it! Oh, more? And I was like in bed, like,
All your stories are good, but nothing makes me cry like when you stuck your hand in a woman's juice. Oh yeah, Amanda stuck her whole hand in a woman's juice.
like a really nice
Why?
turmeric juice.
on accident, she put.
I had my head turned. I was like this. Because I tried to get my balance on a table, and I stuck my whole fist in her turmeric juice. And her turmeric juice was like $8.
Could you imagine being at a brunch place and someone's full hand goes in your cup? I think it's the funniest.
And she goes, and I go, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I'll get you another one. And the line was out the door, and she goes, it's fine. And walked away, and I was like,
Did she drink it?
yes, she took it back to her table.
Wow,
I was like, let me.
good for her.
Okay, and
That's
it's
disgusting.
your last card.
Okay, so these are really embarrassing things when I was a kid.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
I went to Groundlings camp as a kid.
Whoa.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
I played Bella's Lullaby from Twilight for my piano recital.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, baby. Oh, Jesus.
That's crazy.
I played Edna, Tracy Turnblad's mom in Hairspray.
Wait, which character is that?
Is that the one that John Travolta plays?
How old were you?
I was in high school.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Hey, you coming to the show tonight? You guys gonna see
See you
me?
at the show. What's the first one again?
I went to Groundlings camp as a kid.
I don't know why that's embarrassing.
I think it's embarrassing for normal people, but
Yeah.
because we're all kind of
Oh,
theater kids, we're like,
probably.
that sounds really cool, and everyone else is cringing.
Groundlings camp.
Yeah, but that makes sense.
Like I didn't do what normal kids do at camp, where they like play
went to Groundlings
like, s'mores. I was like stressed out improv, like as a kid.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, you've never mentioned this to me before, so I feel like this is a lie. But you played John Travolta in Hairspray in high school. The Bella thing sounds legit.
Everyone was playing like concertos, and then I got up there and played Bella's Lullaby.
I'm gonna go with my gut on this one, even though for some weird reason a pang of me is like it's wrong. You didn't go to
Doesn't that sound like your gut? A
Yeah.
pang in you is
Oh,
telling you it's
right.
wrong.
It's the pang that's my gut.
Hey.
She's like, I'm gonna go with my gut, but there's something deep down that's telling me no. Ask me questions, I'll tell you anything.
How long was Groundlings camp?
3 weeks.
Where?
Literally on Melrose.
Was it fun?
And my mom and I would go thrift shopping after. Because it was in like middle school. It was like 6th grade.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Did you enjoy the John Travolta role?
Yes. And I took it way too seriously.
That's so funny.
That makes sense. See, they all kind of make sense.
Dig into the second one a little bit.
Bella. Bella, tell me how that worked.
It was my piano recital. Mrs. B was my teacher, and she was like, you get to pick anything for the recital. And I said, I had just seen that scene where Edward like sits down at that piano in that house.
You're lying. That's the lie.
I'm so sorry. Oh! Did I get your face? I'm so sorry.
Mouth. I'm like,
I did not play Edna mode in Hairspray.
Edna turn black.
Edna mode. I've never played any Edna.
okay, so my gut was right about one of the things, but wrong about the other thing.
Yeah, I did go to Groundlings camp and I did play Bella's Lullaby.
When you were telling that story, it sounded like
I know, honestly, I
wasn't
just don't
true.
remember a lot of the details. Like, I played it, and I remember it was like I really wanted to play it, and I thought I was so cool because Twilight was my favorite.
See, now you're telling it like I'm believing you, but when
So
you were
maybe I was throwing you off.
when you were telling me, you were like, yeah, you know, it was like, you know.
I think I was just getting nervous. I got nervous because I was like,
And I
Mrs.
was like,
B was the teacher.
Oh, she's lying, and you're like, Mrs. B. I was like, Mrs. B.
Wow, you didn't get one.
Wow, I really guess I don't know you that well.
Well, I mean, these are like, how
That
would you
sucks.
know? That someone spray painted Honda on my. I knew that. I'm her friend.
Honda.
Did you know which one that was?
The Hairspray, just because when you said that you played Edna, I knew that you didn't know the actor, so I threw in the John Travolta.
Yes, and when he did that, I went, yes, the John Travolta.
Well, I was too involved on like thinking about Edna.
I was in the pit choir for Hairspray.
That's fun.
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
That's fun. What did you guys think?
Piano recital sounds like something that I do in like elementary school and middle school, and I was thinking timeline for Twilight. It's like 2008. So it's like you're probably
8th grade.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I definitely didn't think it was the Groundlings one either, because I thought it was too obvious that she like had never mentioned it to
She
you.
never-
or something.
you
And that's
never
why I thought of
mentioned
it.
it.
Because I was thinking, I was like, I honestly didn't try to get you for any of these besides that one. When I was writing these, I was like, what is something that I've never told her that's like a big deal? And I was like, I've never told her this thing about
I
Groundlings.
didn't know that.
Because I have a t-shirt too. And it's super small, but I've never thrown it away because it says the Groundlings because I
That's
was like
so
young.
fun.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it was short form. And a current SNL cast member was my teacher, Mikey Day.
Mikey Day.
And Michaela Watkins, because I did multiple years in a row.
Stop.
Michaela Watkins was a teacher, and Mikey Day. And I remember Michaela Watkins was the one who I broke during a scene. And I'm like a 6th grader, and she goes, never do that. She goes, that'll ruin something. Always take it seriously. And I was like, you got it.
They are
And then I
so
saw her on
intense
SNL too.
about that.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
You were 6th grade.
We were just playing short form.
You were 6th grade.
It was just like 9 to 11, and my mom would pick me up.
God. And you're like, Mom, let's go thrift shopping.
I'd be like, I'm never gonna be a comedian.
Oh my God.
No, they were nice. They were nice.
That's
Okay.
so cool, yeah. I think that's great. The weirdest lie, or ended up being a truth out of all of them, that I didn't believe was the horse. The horse kicking you? That just seems like biologically a horse should
And you wanna
He
hear
was
something
like
weird?
running, and he
Right.
hit you.
We were in a pineapple farm.
No.
In a totally different area in Hawaii when we were young. We were young, and I was on a Clydesdale. I was on a fucking
And he
Budweiser commercial Clydesdale. And he was like,
kicked you?
And he kicked you into a pool, your neighbor's pool.
ah! And it all connected. It happened in one day.
Wow.
I got to know your like younger self.
You too.
Yeah.
You were on a lot of trips, and you were a little
Yeah.
prankster.
I-
Feels like you did a lot of like crazy stuff as a kid. Were you a crazy kid?
No. I just hung out with crazy people. I was not a crazy kid. My little sister was wild and my friends were wild. And I was pretty scared of doing all of it.
But you did it.
I did it.
Like your sister was like, let's steal a pineapple.
And I was like, I don't think we should. And she was like, let's do it. And like a little part of me like loves to be a little bit wild, but
Yeah.
I don't want to do it on my own and I don't like instigate it.
And your friends were like, come to this party. You didn't know it was like gonna get shut down by the cops.
Well, I had a great time. We were there for like 3
Hell
days.
yeah. 3 days? And all I did was play piano of Twilight like a loser?
I partied-
And you were partying for 3 days?
I partied a lot. I partied a lot.
Thanks, guys, for hanging.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
I feel like I now know that your life is kind of like Lizzie McGuire and yours is kind of like Mamma Mia.
Ooh.
Oh, wait, which
Okay.
part of Mamma Mia am I?
I don't know.
The girl with multiple dads? Yeah, that feels pretty true.
Guys, thanks for watching. If there are any pairs you want to see play this game, let us know in the comments. She's staring at me while I... If there are any pairs that you want to see play this game, let us know in the comments. If you also don't know who Harambe is and what she's up to, put it in the comments.
She's not up to anything.
She's not up to anything.
Let me tell you that.
Because she was killed. We'll talk about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Bye.